Hi everyone, this is Johnnyonoes, and I'm playing Empyrion Galactic Survival version 2.03. And in this Let's Learn video, you're going to learn all about creative mode, as well as some of the devices that you can build that you can add to vessels or bases. So, while you're in creative mode, you have unlimited jetpack fuel, don't have to worry about health, food, oxygen, all that good stuff. The unlimited jetpack fuel allows you to create complicated structures without falling or killing yourself by falling like I do all the time. So you can just float around. You can float into space if you want. One of the coolest aspects of creative mode is that you can access your blueprints extremely quickly. Hit F2 or hit Tab and then click on blueprints. So you can basically take one of your blueprints that you've either downloaded or created yourself and just spawn away. There we go. Just made a huge capital ship just floating in space. To make a blueprint, it's very simple. So let's pick up, so I'm hitting H to get all the items in the game to appear. And then I'm going to get some starter blocks. Let's just build a base real quick. And some steel blocks. So I've got a starter block and some steel blocks. So I'm just going to place this on the ground. And then just place a lot of blocks. Oh, failed to place a lot of blocks. And you can place blocks by clicking and holding and then dragging it across. So if you need to make a big space like I'm doing here, you can do it in that fashion. So I now have a base that's got a core and a floor. So if I go over to it, hold down right Alt and O, you'll get a blueprints save area here. So I hit save as, base, delete me, and then you can then go back into the blueprints and then spawn it again. There we go, got two bases. And the same thing goes for ships. I still suggest that you, if you want to go to a planet with very low gravity, or go into space to build a ship that's more complicated. That way, it will float in place, so that it's not going to hit the ground, and you won't be able to build underneath the core. So there it goes. That one just dropped. It ran out of fuel or something. So let's go over some of the items in the game that may not be that self-explanatory. So when you're building a base, you need to start off with a fuel tank and a generator. So we're gonna get a fuel tank and then a generator. Where is the generator? And if you can't find something, like if you're terrible with lists like I am, you can add it to the filter here. So here we go, small generator. So you put your fuel tank down, and then you put your generator down, and then you want to add some fuel to your fuel tank here. Then of course you want to power on your base by hitting P and clicking on powered. You can then see the max output based off of how many generators you have, how much power you're using, and this is based off of what you have on, whether it be lights, a constructor, all that good stuff, and then how much fuel you have. So let's add some more stuff. The next important thing that may be confusing to some is the oxygen station. So let's do O2. We're going to get an oxygen station and an oxygen tank. Just like the generator and fuel tank, the oxygen station requires there to be oxygen to provide to the player. So we're going to place both an oxygen tank and the O2 station. Now access the oxygen tank either by using the P menu or by hitting F on it directly, and you'll notice there's an area for you to drop O2 bottles. Using those O2 bottles, when a player goes over to the O2 station, they can hit F and replenish their oxygen stores. That's how you use oxygen. Alright, some other useful things to look at is the medic station. This is a great item to put into an early base, so you don't have to worry about med packs or anything. You just walk right up to it and your health will regenerate. You kind of have to find a sweet spot. It's kind of like in the diagonal. So if you're like right here, your health will start to gain, and you'll get a little indicator that says you are now gaining health. Then you have cargo boxes, which are pretty self-explanatory. You drop a box, you hit F on it, and you get your inventory here. These are also really useful through the P menu. So if you hit P and then you double click on cargo box, you get access to it as well. So if I put some stuff in there, I'll be able to access it anywhere in the station, as long as I'm on the station. So P, and go to cargo box, and oh, I didn't actually put it in. My bad. We go over here, and all the inventory should be right there. Okay, then you have gravity generator, which allows you to create gravity within the base. So this is really important for star bases and capital ships, where you want people to be able to walk around without having to use their jetpack. Then you have weaponry as well. Let me put that up there. Okay, so you have your minigun turret here, and then what I'm going to need is some minigun ammo, and you can look at that by looking at the ammo type. So the ammo type is 15mm bullets. Kind of look for your 15mm bullets and pick that one up as well. And if you have power, oh, it's not allowing me to place it. Why is that? Oh, it's a big one. Looks like that's only for a capital ship. So I got to find one that's for a base. Here we go, cannon turret. It uses the same. Oh, it uses 30mm. Okay, let me find that. 30mm bullets. I think it's these. Yep, that's it. So it's important to know what you're building is associated with what your project's all about. Oh, I can see myself. I shoot myself. So now that I have the ammo and the turret, I need to build an ammo box for the base. And this is really great because you can like put turrets everywhere and then only have to arm it one area. So let's do ammo box. So large ammo box, and then throw it down there, hit F, and now our turrets have ammunition in it. So let me do the same thing and see if I can hit myself. There we go. Oh, can't do any damage in creative mode. You hit F to get out, and there you go. That's how you arm your turrets that are on your base or your capital ship. And if no one's manning the turret, they'll automatically shoot at things that they deem need to be killed. You can also set what you want it to shoot at. So if like a spider comes by and it's not really going to do anything to your base, you probably don't want it to waste ammo on that sort of thing. So you can unclick Predator and keep it to just other factions and Alien. Or if you want to shoot everything and you've got a limited amount of ammo everywhere, then just click everything. This is in the P menu. Okie dokie, so let's go back to this listing. So then you have elevator blocks, which are really nice. So if you want to make multiple levels in your base, just put some elevator blocks, and without using the jetpack, you can move about each level just by hitting space and then go down by using C, just as you would if you were in a ship or you're swimming. Then you have generators, some more turrets, there's some other aesthetic stuff. You have grow lights. So grow lights are used for growing crops. You basically want to put these above a growing plot. And if you put it 3 levels above the growing plot, I think you can illuminate a 3x3 block of growing plots. But it really depends on the distance. So you can investigate and experiment with what works best for you. Then you have little sentry bots, which you can put them inside your base and they'll take out other players. Fridges are pretty self-explanatory. It's merely a cargo box that has refrigeration in it. So if you put things like meat and other foods in there, they will not decay while they're in there. Then you have your different seeds for planting, some lights, some other things that are just for creative mode. Then you have your advanced constructor. And then the clone chamber is really important as well. It will create a spawn point for you to spawn at if you die. Can't really die in creative, but you can just see what it looks like. It looks very much like the medical station. Okay, then you have some doors, and then the food processor is really important too, because your large constructor cannot make food. So if you're transitioning to a base, you're going to need a food processor to be able to process the food that you want to make. You can make all sorts of crazy food in it, like cake and stuff. Get some door blocks, as well as hanger doors. I want to see these. These are new to me. Let's see if I can put it on this base. Let's get some more blocks. Should be enough room. Cool. You got hanger doors. Not really sure how that works when you have a ship. Let's see. Let's do a blueprint. Just do my poopy ship. And then let's see how we go through the gate here. Oh, it looks like it opens for you. That's awesome. I would imagine if you're of the right faction. That is neato skeeto. Actually make some real hangers. Whee. Right. And then that looks like all I need to explain. The other things that I haven't explained are things like thrusters for ships. You just need to make sure you have one for every side, like I have on this little poopy ship. So you need, whoa, I don't have my jetpack on. Come on, turn it on. So you have things like you have to go right to left, up and down, and backwards and forwards. That's all you really need to know about thrusters. That and the fact that some of them use less power. So if you find your ship running out of power too quickly, you either want to add additional fuel tanks and generators, or reduce the amount of power by going with either a thruster directional or one of the other types that are there. So there are two types actually. There's directional, and then thruster, and then there's a third type which is basically just a thruster that's armored. So really it's how much power your ship requires, as well as counterbalancing it with the weight. So if you have a really heavy ship with very little thrust to it, it's not going to move that fast. If you have a ship that has a lot of thrusters and very little power, you're probably going to get only a couple seconds worth of juice in that ship. So I'll probably do another video when I've spent more time building ships. Now, of course, you have various different cockpits, but that's basically all the devices and the more complicated devices you use. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. You have all the different weapons. I don't need to go into them too much. The only weapon that you really need to know about is maybe the multi-tool and the filler tool. So let's get a multi-tool, and where's the filter tool? Oh, it's the T2. I didn't know there was a T2 multi-tool. Well, what's the filler? There it is. Let's get some ammo for those things too. Multi-charge. And then I need the F and F. I think it's like red color. Where is it? There it is. Not red. It's yellow. It's not red at all, Johnny-O. Okay. So we have our multi-tool here. This tool is extremely important when you're building bases, because what it can do is you can remove blocks. If you don't have this tool and you make a mistake while you are building a base, there's no way for you to move a block. Wow, this T2 one is awesome. I need to get that in survival. So when you dismantle something using this tool, you get the materials used to make whatever you're dismantling. You don't actually get the whole block back. So as you can see, I'm getting hardened plates and all these other components, but then it does allow you to rebuild it without any loss. If you right-click something, you'll repair a block. So if you see a block that's been damaged by enemy fire or any other reasons, such as Johnnyo crashing into the planet, you can right-click and it will repair the blocks. Unfortunately, there's no damage in creative mode, so I really can't show that, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Now, the filler and flatten tool will raise and lower the terrain that you shoot it at. So if I want to raise the terrain, I just left-click. And then if I want to lower it, I right-click. And what it will try to do is it will try to make that area as flat as possible at the same time. So if you need a flat area, you just first flatten a square and then do your best to make the area as flat as possible. There, I just kind of made a little flat area to build something. So I can take this, what I raised, and then flatten it to the altitude that I'm at. Alright, I think that's all I gotta say about all the items in the game. Really just by looking at, like, one of the confusing things that I ran into was if you're looking at a weapon, make sure to look at the ammo type and make sure you're building the right ammo type. And the other thing is when you're building something, make sure that you're building it for what you're trying to build. So if you build thrusters for a hover vehicle, they aren't going to be able to be placed on a small vessel. Same thing goes for a capital ship as well. So you got to really pay attention to what it says on the right there where it says placeable, and then make sure that what you're making fits on what you're building. Alright, that's it from me now. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you have any additional questions about anything regarding Empyrion Galactic Survival or any of the other games that I make videos for, please leave a comment, and I'll be sure to make a video or throw a comment back at you that explains what you're looking for. Alright, thanks folks. This is Johnnyonoes playing Empyrion Galactic Survival version 203. Thanks very much for watching. See you next time.